So when I got the call to maybe read at this gala, I said, well, who else is reading? And they said, Tom Brokaw. And I said, well, there's going to be a lot of overlap. He's not reading a chapter about menopause, is he? Because that'll be weird. This is the book that I'm reading from. This will be out June 9th. Yes, it's exciting. My husband, George Stephanopoulos, is well asleep because he gets up at 2:30 a.m. to do GMA. So because I knew he wasn't here, I got to pick the chapter I read. And thank you for calling George America's sweetheart. Lena Dunham earlier this year called George a sexual icon. So I went and got Botox because it's just a matter of time before he leaves me. He is a sexual icon. Okay, this is a section about marriage. And George Carlin said, here's all you need to know about men and women. Women are crazy, men are stupid. And the main reason women are crazy is that men are stupid. Words to live by. Okay, grounded. There's something I've never understood. You know that famous scene in Love Story when Ally McGraw tearfully looks up at Ryan O'Neal after a lover's squabble and sniff? Loves means never saying you're sorry. Okay, well, how did Eric Siegel get away with that? I mean, how did his marriage work? Listen, sweetheart, I think you need a facelift. I gambled all our money, I banged your sister, then just silence? No, I'm sorry, ever? For me, love has always meant saying sorry repeatedly, even if it's not my fault. Sometimes I'll say, I'm sorry just because I'm too exhausted, I don't want to fight anymore. And I know he wasn't really checking out that jogger. It's hormones. I don't think, however, that an apology is a blanket get-out-of-jail-free card either. Forgiveness must be earned, and forgiveness must be sincere. My 12-year-old daughter recently worked herself into a rageful lather because I forgot to plug in her flat iron. She called me an idiot. Granted, there may be some truth to that, but you're not allowed to call me an idiot unless you're over 21, or you're my parents. But moments later, when she realized that her nasty remark would result in her phone being confiscated for the weekend, she threw herself upon my mercy with choruses of, I'm so sorry, Mommy, I'm so sorry. She wasn't sorry. She was terrified she wouldn't be able to tweet duck face selfies for 48 hours. I call that forgiveness in sheep's clothing from Forever 21. My husband and I planned a family vacation to Spain. Would our kids have rather gone to Atlantis or Legoland? As much as we like water slide adventures that use 60 million gallons of water we wanted to inject a little culture in them beyond the food stands, brats and balls. Yes, there is a food stand called Brats and Balls at Legoland. It's sausages and meatballs. We planned a few days in Madrid and then a couple of days in Seville. We bought an English-Spanish dictionary and began counting French fries in Castilian at dinner. Even though we would only be in Spain for 1 week, we were pretty confident our children would come back fluent. The night before we departed came the tedious ritual of packing. I can put a year's worth of clothes in a Ziploc bag. It's like I've been on the lam my whole life. My daughters, however, are meticulous wardrobe connoisseurs and lay each outfit on the bed as if they're attending the Met Ball every night. And the amount of stuffed animals that need to accompany us, a bulky chihuahua that lived on the bottom of the closet was suddenly taken off death row and granted carry-on status. I had to explain that the hotel would have soap and shampoo and that the gorge duffel of every hand soap, sunscreen bottle, and dishwasher detergent in the apartment would be confiscated at security. And after hours of arguing over why our 8-year-old could not bring her live guinea pig, Lenny, and why it wasn't reasonable for our 11-year-old to bring her pogo stick, we were packed and loaded. We were taking the night flight, our favorite time to fly, which meant a sleeping pill for me and 8 hours of Gossip Girls for my kids. They always awakened me mid-flight to ask things like, what does hooking up mean? And asshat, which I didn't know. Asshat is a noun. It's someone who has made so much more than an ass of themselves, it's as if they're wearing their assery as a hat. But they're resilient girls and don't need 12 to 14 hours sleep like I do, and that's when I'm not depressed. We have a ritual of eating before air travel, a delicious dinner at home so we don't get constipated on pretzels and Bloody Mary mix. And then it was off to the airport. I carried my bag, baby pouch. My husband carried his bag, and the cart bore the heap of Hello Kitty suitcases at the gate. We were jet setters. In our sweatpants and neck pillows, except not on a jet. We were American Airline miles setters. We handed the representative our passports and heaved the girls' luggage onto the belt. I gazed at my husband with an enamored expression as if to say, here we are, our little family setting out on an adventure that will eventually become a Shutterfly album that we will force upon our friends. The representative eyed me like I had just farted on her shoes. You're not going anywhere tonight. Excuse me, my husband politely inquired. The children's passports are expired. She threw them down on the counter in disgust. In the movie version, the camera would have zoomed into my pupils, widened in sheer panic. I never checked their passports. They were kids. Their passports were as real as their American Girl passports were. Oh my God, it was my fault. It was my responsibility. I screwed up. My head started spinning, and like a drowning victim, I splashed around trying to grab any excuse to pull myself out of this mess. I thought, wait, was I supposed to? I never got an email. This shouldn't be my responsibility. I let myself sink down into the shame of my stupidity, and then, like any mature adult, I turned and ran away. That's called a cliffhanger. You got to buy the book to find out what happens next. Thank you very much.